Williams.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this important hearing. There was a recent Harvard University study that appropriately described what I knew when I was a community banker, and it stated their competitive advantage is the knowledge and history of their customers and the willingness to be flexible. Unfortunately, this big regulatory burden that we have placed over our community financial institutions is taking away their flexibility. And every member here has been back to their district, and they hear from their community financial institutions on how they're maybe not able to provide the same services, make some of the same loans that they made in the past. And what we're also hearing is, alarmingly, that we're seeing a lot of consolidation in our community financial institutions. I think when you look at the credit unions and the community banks, there are nearly 2,200 consolidations over the last 4 or 5 years. And why is that important to our communities? Because when you look at the community financial institutions, they're the primary supplier of credit for our small businesses. They are, in many cases, the only source for mortgages in those particular markets. And you look at, in my district, for example, production agricultural loans. Community financial institutions make over 75% of the production agricultural loans in this country. And so we've got to move away from the government knows what financial products are best for you and go back to the scenario where the customer, the consumer, the borrower, and their lender are working out the best solutions for them. And we also need to preserve our community financial institutions, which are such an integral part of our community. And so, Mr. Chairman, I thank you for holding the hearing today, and we look forward to hearing from our witnesses on this very important subject. And with that, I yield back.
Gentleman yields back. Today we welcome the testimony of Mr. Tyrone Fenderson, who's the President and CEO of Commonwealth National Bank. He received his bachelor's degree from Faulkner University and completed graduate programs at Louisiana State University and Troy University. He was named to Birmingham Business Journal's Top 40 Under 40 list in 2006. Mr. Patrick Miller is the President and CEO of CBC Federal Credit Union. Prior to joining CBC, Mr. Miller worked for 22 years in the financial services industry. Mr. Miller is a graduate of Hiram College, and at this point, I will yield back to the gentleman from Texas for our next introduction.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my pleasure to introduce David Williams. He is the Chairman and CEO of Centennial Bank in Lubbock, Texas. He's a Lubbock native. Second generation family banking. Their family's been in banking for a very long time, and David knows a lot about community banking. And another special relationship that I have is not only is David a personal friend, but about 38 years ago, Mr. Williams helped this young home builder from Lubbock, Texas, start a development company and took a chance. And I think that's the spirit of community banking. So we're delighted to have David, Mr. Williams, testifying today.